Listen up, this is a warning, especially to everybody in this TikTok, YouTube, online world. If you live in the digital ecosphere, and we all do, you need to think long and hard about what happens to your entire digital ecosystem and presence when you go along and unalive yourself, when your wife unalives herself, or anyone in the family without your own doing. You just die. We are all dying, and not nearly enough people are thinking about what happens when you die in this online world that we live in. It's bad enough when people die and they are living in the paper generation. They're getting their bank statements online, they're getting their account statements online. Maybe they're not quite as engaged in the digital ecosystem as all of us are. But increasingly, when people are living online, and especially when your business is all online, and yes, that's all you people in the influencer world, when you go and unalive yourself, you got to start making preparations for what happens when you die. The problem that no one sees coming, especially if you're successful in the online world, or if you're doing crypto, or you're doing any kind of this online stuff, you have to start thinking about the real world implications, about the fact that you're living in the digital eco world, but always, 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 you're going to have to collide or crash with my world, which is the legal system, particularly if you haven't done any planning. Now, most platforms have an ability to have legacy contacts. Most platforms have an ability to make sure that you have trusted contacts within there. That is becoming increasingly essential, because the tools that we used to use, even as lawyers, big shot judges that could issue an order that says Google or all you platforms provide access to the widow to that account. They don't care anymore. They can ignore those things. So what is required? I'm going to introduce you to something that's old school. It is paper. I didn't share any passwords in there. No, I didn't. It is paper. But increasingly, what is apparent is that you had better have somewhere where you got your passwords written down. That little wallet that you have that hides the currency and all that stuff, it ain't going to work for you if at the end of the day they don't have access to that. Now, again, platforms have this trusted contact concept, and I would encourage you to pay attention to that. But especially if you're doing wills or more formal documents, I've done videos about the online access law that exists that nobody knows anything about. You got to have this written into your will. But the bottom line is this: your grandfather's watch is in a drawer. The account statements, they were in a drawer. But this is not what we're living in anymore. You've got to make provisions to have access to your accounts in the online world.